What's up, guys? Excoundrel here. Welcome. Sorry that I had a couple of days off at the weekend. I have had my first COVID vaccination, and after it, I did get relatively ill. Got a little bit fever, had to stay in bed for a day. I'm good now. Only lasted a day. I feel pretty good. Hopefully gonna get the second jab in a few weeks. The UK is like extending the delay between the two jabs, so I don't know when my second jab's gonna be, but hopefully at some point in the future. So sorry I had a couple of days off, I wasn't feeling great. Back at it again now, and I'm going to show you the 5 best picks for climbing ranks at every elo. I'm not doing this, at the high elos. I'm not aiming this at Master and Challenger realistically, even though these picks can work there. I am aiming this at everybody from Iron all the way up to Diamond for the most part. And these are going to be the 5 best picks that I think right now you can climb elo with, because they are really strong, they have good matchups, and most importantly, are relatively easy to play. I could, for the most part, show you in the Baron lane Fiora or Camille, but not everybody's going to be able to play those champions because they're quite hard and take a lot of practice. So instead, I'm showing you champions that I think are relatively easy to pick up, they're easy to learn, and they're very strong right now. And I'm going to show you those champions in every role. For the bot lane, I'll be showing you a duo instead of just a single champion for each role. I'm going to show you the duo that I think works best and also has the highest potential carry, or the highest carry potential from that particular role. And I'm also going to be showing you versions of the rank 1 player builds on these champions. So I will have adjusted those builds ever so slightly because I have my own personal thoughts on what works best. But I'm going to show you the rank 1 builds for these champions for most people. Also, thanks to G2A for sponsoring the channel. And of course, giving away skins in May. You've got about a week left. Make sure you comment and like and subscribe for all the videos. We are so close to 100,000 subs. And at 100,000 subs, I'm going to do a Q&A. You can ask me whatever you like, and I'll do a video answering those questions. Once I hit 100,000, I'll probably do a video where I ask you to ask questions in the comments, and I'll answer those questions in the next video. Okay, so, right. The first one, as you can see, he's been on your screen the whole time. Garen. I think Garen is one of the strongest Baron laners right now. You've seen a lot of content creators doing videos about Garen. And I think he's one of the easiest Baron laners to pick up. I think he gets incredibly tanky. He's got a lot of carry potential. And I think if you're in the Baron lane and you're not particularly good at using the likes of Fiora or Camille, and you want someone that has got both split push pressure, does well into a lot of matchups, and also can team fight well, Garen is your boy. So in terms of build, this is the very standard build for Garen. The rank 1 Garen player likes to go Dead Man's Plate first, but I personally just like going Sunfire for the extra health because you get the resistances from Garen's second ability. So Sunfire into Dead Man's Plate, Gargoyle enchant, which is starting to become incredibly popular. So Gargoyle enchant, Spirit Visage, Thornmail, Sterax is the build that this guy goes for. In terms of runes, Grasp of the Undying is the reason that Garen is good. Champion, I prefer Champion over Brutal because that early 10% damage, as long as you're not dying in the laning phase, is going to give you a massive edge. Regeneration, because Garen doesn't have mana, so he naturally regenerates health. And then Hunter Genius. Now you could switch out Regeneration for, let's say, Hunter Titan, because Garen has natural regeneration anyway, or you could like then switch it out for Honey Fruit. It's up to you. But I like the cooldown reduction, and I like the extra bit of regeneration that you're getting from regeneration throughout the game anyway. In terms of spells, Flash, Ignite, just putting a lot of pressure on your enemy Baron laner. So Garen is my first pick for the strong Baron laner to play right now. Okay, jungle. Wukong. Yes, Wukong. Why not like Lee Sin? Why not Evelynn? Well, those champions I think are a little harder to play. And also, from what we've seen in pro play, Wukong is a highly valued professional pick in the jungle because of the impact that he can have in fights. And why can't that translate to solo queue? So this is an adjusted version of the rank 1 build that the rank 1 player that Wukong plays is using. GA into Black Cleaver, you go for the Gargoyle enchant. You notice how Gargoyle enchant is getting a lot of value right now. People really valuing the tankiness that the Gargoyle enchant provides, or rather the Stone Plate. Increase your health by 65% while reducing damage dealt by 60% for 4 seconds. If there are 3 or more enemies nearby, increase health by 130% instead. So imagine using that when you've got the Wukong ultimate going. That's when you're most in danger. You're going to be taking a lot less damage, and you can immediately get out of the fight. So Gargoyle enchant proving to be it's Gargoyle Stoneplate on PC. Stoneplate enchant proving to be very, very useful for a lot of players right now. into Black Cleaver, Sunfire Cape, Force of Nature, and then Randuin's Omen. So a bit more of a tanky Wukong build following a Guardian Angel and Black Cleaver. But again, you know, Wukong is designed to be a more utility pick, and the Black Cleaver is in there to help facilitate any extra AD damage dealers on your team. Runes, Conqueror, Brutal. I like Brutal in the jungle, mainly because it helps you clear a little quicker earlier on. Hunter Titan, and then also Mastermind for the extra damage to objectives and towers. And obviously Wukong is very, very good at dealing with towers as well. So this is a very strong Wukong build. I recommend that you try it out. I also think Wukong's relatively easy to play compared to a lot of other junglers, so you should be able to pick him up relatively quickly. A lot of you probably guessed this one in the mid lane. Diana. I think she's pretty easy to play. I think she's got a lot of teamfight potential. I think she's one of the best solo carry mid laners that we have right now. Yeah, Diana, in my opinion, is super, super good. So this is the rank 1 Diana build. The only thing that I've changed is Brutal into Champion. It's Rod of Ages into Nash's Tooth. They haven't given you a boots upgrade, but my personal thought process would be that Stasis is almost always the best option. So Stasis is probably the good option for Diana. Into Rabadon's Death Cap, which is interestingly then going into Lichbane. So extra burst damage on your basic attacks with the Nash's Tooth as well. So huge, huge basic attack damage coming out from this build with Morellonomicon to finish it up, or Green Blue Book, or whatever Hell's Devil likes to call it these days. Conqueror into Champion, into Hunter Titan, and also the Honey Fruit enchant, because obviously the Honey Fruit rune is good when you're a melee mid laner and you have a couple of bad matchups. You know, Diana's kind of way that you play her is you just kind of wait until level 5. You just farm with your first ability. You try to take as little damage as possible. You have your shield as well to protect against any sort of poke. So you're just looking to farm to level 5 as quickly as possible. And at level 5, you have a lot of teamfight potential at the first Drake. You have a lot of all-in potential onto ranged mid lane matchups. So I think, you know, in general, you know, Diana just gets through that early laning phase to level 5, and she becomes incredibly useful. I think she's one of the easier hard carry mid laners to play right now, and I just think she's super strong all round. So yeah, very much recommend Diana as your mid lane of choice if you're looking to climb elo from that mid position. All right, I said I was going to give you a bot lane duo, and I think you can probably guess what that bot lane duo is just based on this picture. I want to show you something. I haven't had a chance to play much because of the internet, but right here is a huge spree of wins where a large portion of them were played Jinx LuLu. As you can see, Jinx LuLu. Jinx LuLu. Jinx LuLu. Jinx LuLu. I actually think the death of Jinx LuLu has been greatly exaggerated. I think it's an incredibly strong bot lane for every elo, because Jinx is one of those champions that if you get even a slight lead on her, she can really start to take over a game. And I think that Jinx is in general a super strong pick for most elos in solo queue. If you're a solo queue AD carry, picking Jinx is usually going to be your best way to carry a game, because if you get a 1 kill in a team fight, you can suddenly start to take over. And this is the build that has been essentially taking the sort of precedent over the Blade of the Ruined King build. It is a full crit Jinx build, which was the way that I always thought she should be played. But this player, who's I think ranked 3 on the ladder, goes for Hunter Vampirism over any other rune, which I think is kind of interesting, because you get 2% physical vamp, and then obviously once you've taken part in some kills, you can get up to 7% physical vamp with 10 AD, which already makes it slightly better than Brutal. And I think getting that extra vamp in, especially when you're not going Blade of the Ruined King, is a pretty big deal, because then you combine that with the 8% physical vamp that you're going to get from your boots. You're going to have 15% vamp locked into your kit eventually once you get to that stage of the game. The build that, you know, a lot of Jinx players are going right now is Infinity Edge, Ruinous Hurricane, Rapid Fire Cannon into Last Whisper or Last Whisper, and then Bloodthirster, or rather, it's Mortal Reminder, isn't it? Yeah, Last Whisper's the little bit. Mortal Reminder into either Bloodthirster or Guardian Angel. Runes, Conqueror. This guy goes to Hunter Vampirism. I like Spirit Walker as Jinx, just gives you a little bit extra health in the laning phase. And then Sweet Tooth, which is always nice at the laning phase too. And then we can go over to LuLu. Where is she? Have I missed her? Have I missed LuLu? I think I've missed. There she is. So, LuLu. She is a relatively easy support to play. I have recently kind of fallen out of love with this particular build, but this is okay. So I like going for Ardent into Harmonic into Athenes with Rabadons, and then if I ever get to it, I can go for the Protector's Vow. In terms of boot enchants, there are two main ones, Ionian Shadows or the Redemption enchant, both of which are fine. You could also potentially go for Locket. And this is the runes that I like. Summon Airy, weakness, because if you apply a lot of CCs, it's going to increase the damage dealt to those champions. Loyalty, to help increase your AD carries resistances. And then Mana Flow Band, which is going to really help alleviate some of Lulu's mana issues in the laning phase. Lulu does have a lot of mana issues in the laning phase, so Mana Flow Band really does help alleviate that. So Jinx LuLu is my bot lane of choice to carry games with. But I think if you're playing a support, outside of that, things like Braum and Janna are still really, really strong. But I think as a bot lane duo, Jinx LuLu is the go-to. If you're an AD carry, I would pick Jinx anyway for the most part, because I think, especially at low elos, she absolutely stomps. So anyway, those are my picks. Those are my favorite picks right now for climbing the ladder in solo queue. I hope you enjoyed. If this is the kind of content with the builds and stuff that you enjoy, please let me know in the comments down below. And I'm glad to be back. I'm feeling just about okay after my jabs, so hopefully I'll see you again soon. And hoping today they are fixing my internet at home, so I should be able to move all of my desk and everything back to my home setup and start to get my actual workspace set up nicely at home, which will be really cool. I'll see you soon.